Hi everyone, welcome to Crate Digging with Carter, the YouTube channel where I talk about record collecting on a budget, talk about some of my favorite records that I've come across in recent times, and hopefully remind you of some old classics to go back and listen to, or might introduce you to some new music. Today I'm going to talk about my top record finds of 2025. No, this isn't based on value or anything like that. These are just records that I purchased or received in 2025 that were meaningful to me in some way or that I found cool. Hopefully y'all will enjoy this video and learn about some new music or go back and listen to some music you've already enjoyed. So I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. I'm going to start back in January of 2025 with some finds and then make my way through the entire year with some classics. I got about, I don't know, 10 records. I didn't count. Just grab a little stack, some ones I wanted to talk about to go over today. So I'm going to start us off with this one. I picked this up in a record store in Houston in the clearance bin. Apologize for the glare here. This is Heavy Soul by Ike Quebec. It's part of the Blue Note Classic Vinyl Series reissue. I actually wasn't really familiar with who Ike Quebec was before picking up this record. I like the Blue Note Classic Series and Tone Poet Series a lot. Saw it was a great price. Thought, hey, why not? I'll check it out. And I put it on, immediately fell in love with this record. Super just soulful, as the title would suggest. Um, Laid back, impactful jazz. Very kind of beautiful tone with the saxophone. You got Freddie Roach on here on organ too, which is really cool. I had no idea what to expect with this. Bought it because it was a great deal, and I like Blue Note. And was very, very impressed by this record. So if you haven't checked Ike Quebec out or this record by Ike Quebec, Heavy Soul, definitely give this one a listen. I think that you will love it. All right, next one, we're going to jump ahead actually quite a few months here. This one I got as a birthday gift from my wife, and this is one of my favorite, probably my favorite to clarify, Black Keys record. I had been wanting it for a while, never really found the opportunity to get it, and she got it for me as a gift. So I'm super excited about this record here. I really enjoy listening to this one. If you're unfamiliar with this is a bunch of covers that the Black Keys did with some musicians from the Mississippi Delta, and they just covered a lot of tunes from R.L. Burnside, who is a Mississippi Delta blues musician who been playing for a long time and kind of rose to some semblance of popularity in the 90s and really greatly influenced the formation of the Black Keys and some of Dan Auerbach's guitar playing as well. This is really kind of a cool homage tribute album. It is laid back, kind of just straight ahead groove. It's nothing like out of this world in terms of musicianship, but it just anytime I want to get some work done, it's great to driving to if you want to stream it. Just a really good record. Like it's kind of hypnotic is the word I'm looking for. So if you're unfamiliar with this record, check this out. It's really cool for a lot of different circumstances. Every time I put it on, it makes me happy, and yeah, I'm very grateful to have this one in the collection. All right. Next, I actually had the opportunity to go to a um, flea market and picked up a couple of records there at some really good deals. So I definitely want to talk about those. I got quite a few records that day, but I'm only going to talk about two for the sake of time in this video. The first one here, this is Isaac Hayes' Hot Buttered Soul. So I'm familiar with Isaac Hayes, but I was not familiar with this record. So I picked it up. I think I got it for $10. And I was like, I like Isaac Hayes. I like soul. Let's listen to this one. This is an incredible record. Very well produced. It is not. I know the other record is very popular is the Shaft soundtrack, which I really enjoy. This is not a soundtrack, but it sounds like it could be. It's produced really well, and this is the precursor to Shaft, kind of Isaac Hayes at his full creative genius. It's got some really long tracks on there, some spoken word stuff going on. It is really cool, really funky. If you're unfamiliar with this record, classic by Isaac Hayes, definitely check this one out. Especially for only $10, you could probably find it, similar price other places. Get this one for sure if you like soul music or Isaac Hayes in general. Next one I picked up, I want to talk about this. This is probably the best deal I got all year. I bought this from a gentleman. He was selling it for $9, and I bought in bulk, and he gave me a discount. This is Pacific Ocean Blue by Dennis Wilson, one of the Beach Boys. I know this album was a cult classic. I heard a lot about it. hadn't listened to it before. I was like, oh, it's $7. Why not? I'll add it to the pile, and I grabbed it. Went home, listened to it, was blown away by it. I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting, I don't know, something very kind of light and poppy. This is kind of a heavy hitter. It's cool. It's rock. It's got some really cool grooves on here, some cool instrumentation. It kind of blew my mind, to be honest. I was not expecting it. Like I said, because I know this is a popular record, I just was unfamiliar with it. So yeah, definitely check this one out. Normally, this record, this is an original pressing, goes for about $50. So to have gotten it unexpectedly for $7 was really cool. I'm sure they have reissues if you get for cheaper, but yeah, check this one out. Stream it too if you want. Pacific Ocean Blue by Dennis Wilson. Yeah, great record. All right. The next one I'm going into, I bought this at a record store on a 20% off day. I think I got this one from Antones. I know I talked about them in a previous video. Went back again on another trip and found this really cool record in the collector's bin. And it's a little expensive, but based on it was 20% off day, I was feeling like I wanted to get some records. I did invest in this one. I got it for a really good deal. I think I got it for 60-ish dollars, which again is pretty expensive. But when I show this, you're gonna be like, you spent $60 for that? The cover on this is unfortunately trashed. Like it's, got massive ring wear around here, looks pretty beat up. That being said, the condition of the vinyl itself is VG plus plus. Like I was like, oh man, I was looking at it and I was like, let me just check out the record to see how it looks. I got it in the sleeve here. See if I can take it out and show you. The lighting in this room is not the best, but I don't know if you can see that, but it is like pristine. And I was like, for a cover that trash with water damage, ring wear, and I played it too, and it sounds just as good. Could pass almost for near mint. We'll call it VG plus. And I was like, wow, that's great. I'm gonna get that. And then the final piece that sold it for me is on the back here. If you can see this, this is some writing up here, but this was actually signed by our organist on the record, Dr. Lonnie Smith, and the man himself, Lou Donaldson, over here in this corner. So double signatures from two of the band members, which I thought was really cool. So again, got the record 20% off, VG plus condition, signed by both artists. Now, if this front cover was, looking better, I would be, blown away. But I'm still very, very happy to have this in the collection. Just some classic Lou Donaldson solo jazz. I'm a big Lou Donaldson fan. You can put it on anytime. It's got some great ones on here. Alligator Boogaloo's one of Lou Donaldson's most popular songs. I also like One Cylinder. It's kind of driving. Got some cool guitar work on there by George Benson. So yeah, it's an awesome record. Definitely check this one out. Stream it, and you can actually find. I know they did a reissue of it, and you can find original pressings for a little bit cheaper. I think they may have sold this for more based on the condition of it, and then based on the fact that it was signed. But you can get this probably for under 40 or $50, depending on your luck and where you look for it. So yeah, that was a great find. Definitely one of my coolest finds, I think, coming out of a record store in 2025. Got another Blue Note here. Now this one I did not get from a record store. I got from a vintage sale. I've bought some records from this gentleman before. It's called Resurrected Records. They kind of travel around, do vintage sales in Austin. But this is an all-time classic. I think it's a 60s reissue in stereo, so not like an OG, but still Rudy Van Gelder, new Blue Note, New York, USA on the back here. So an early pressing of Something Else by Cannonball Adderley with Miles Davis, of course. Classic, essential Blue Note record, and I'm happy to have an early pressing of it. I didn't have this record at all before, but with a chance to buy an early Blue Note pressing of an album that I love, that's essential for a jazz collection, I picked it up, and he gave me a great deal on it too. So very excited to have this. Condition wise, I would say VG, bordering on VG plus, but again, just to have this in the collection is great. It still sounds really good. A little bit of noise on the disc, but cover's in great shape, plays through really well. A little beat up, but still, like I said, very grateful to have it. Got it for a great deal. So awesome record right here. Happy to have this one in the collection. And if you're not familiar with the record, definitely check it out. Every track in there is fantastic, and you get to hear Miles Davis and Cannonball Adderley on their only Blue Note recording. Next one. This is going to be my obscurest record. So obscure, in fact, that it is not listed on Discogs, and I couldn't find anything about it online until I did one of those Google searches when you put like the words in parentheses, so it has to dig through exactly what you put in. And I found recordings of it from a university in a university archive. Like I did that, and two things popped up in Google, and then it was like no more results. So this record, I'm assuming, is very rare. No idea, how many other people have it. It's pretty random, but it's really interesting from a historical perspective, and I'm glad to have this item in my collection. This is called, I don't know how to pronounce this, the names, but I'm just gonna call it the Kings. And what it is essentially like 60s field recordings from Nigerian king processionals. Um, Now, is this music that like I'd want to like sit down and kind of jam out to? Absolutely not. But it's still really cool from like that historical perspective to say like this is kind of what um, Nigerian music sounded like, without much Western influence, things like that. So it's just really cool. I like learning about different cultures and different types of music from around the world, and this is unlike anything I've heard. If you're interested in hearing this, like I said, you can search this up. I might throw a link in the subscription in the description of the video if you want to click on there, and you can listen to the recordings on the university website that I found. If you're interested to hear kind of what this type of music sounds like, I know this cover was printed in Nigeria too, and this was released on behalf of a university in Nigeria too. So yeah, really cool condition. I would say, I don't know, VG, but it's hard to tell if, when I play it, if it's just like the quality of the recording or if it's the quality of the record. But regardless, it plays through well and is a fun listen for sure to kind of learn about some other type of music that I was not familiar with. So yeah, very grateful to have this in the collection. I picked this up for $8. So yeah. Next one, I think this is going to be what I call my cheap heat recommendation. If you are unfamiliar with this record, this is Black and White, Tony Joe White. Check this out. I picked this up in one of those, like, I got it for $4, and like the cheap bins that are underneath the records at record stores are normally it's a bunch of like dollar records no one really wants. I saw this one poking out of there, and I've loved this record from before. I've streamed it, never owned a copy. Didn't think I could get one for $4, and it's in pretty good shape. I would say VG Plus sounds phenomenal. And if you're not familiar with Tony Joe White, he is I would say I think they consider his music swamp rock, but very bluesy. Kind of got this deep voice, somewhat reminiscent vocally of like if Elvis were, from the Bayou, I would say. But he's got some really great tracks in here, tracks that have been covered by Elvis Presley. The Black Keys have covered, or not, sorry, not the Black Keys. The Black Pumas have covered some of their tracks, some of his tracks more recently, and just a really good songwriter, musician. Everything he puts out is very cool. I think he passed away a couple of years ago. Has a pretty big discography, but anytime I listen to his records or stream them or whatever, I'm always very impressed by it. Kind of groovy, funky stuff. So if you like, blues rock, swamp rock, funky music, check this out. Really cool. And like I said, you should be able to find this in some dollar bins. And it's got some really good songs in here. You may know Poke Salad Annie. That's the one Elvis covered. It's got Wichita Lineman on here, which I think Glenn Campbell. I don't know. I don't know who wrote it. I don't think Tony Joe White wrote it, but Glenn Campbell popularized. So there's a few songs in here you might be familiar with. But yeah, just a really cool record. Check this out. Black and White, Tony Joe White. It's his first ever record that he issued. And we're going full circle with my final record of 2025. We started the year off with Ike Quebec. Like I said, I fell in love with that record, and I got this as a Christmas gift, which I'm very grateful to have. This is Ike Quebec, the complete 45 sessions on Blue Note. This is a really cool record. It's got 3 LPs in it. I don't have I don't know if you would consider this a box set or not, but if we do, I don't really have a lot of box sets, and I find them, sometimes tedious to deal with, to go through and dig out, the specific disc you want and whatnot. I feel like a lot of times record collectors will put box sets on the shelves and then never touch them. I've actually gone through and played all of these records in here, listened to them multiple times. It's really cool. Like I said, I love Ike Quebec. It's great music for any time. I would say, if you're having a dinner, you're doing or trying to unwind after a long day, you're trying to do some chores, like his stuff is great. Always puts me in a good mood. It's got a lineup of a lot of different guitarists, organists, drummers, bassists. Some of them I have heard of before, some of them I have not heard of before. But regardless, it's just kind of a collection of all the 45s I Quebec put out a bunch of. He used to got a little history. He used to record for Blue Note. I want to say back in the 40s, then stepped away for a bit, and then he came back to Blue Note, and then they, kind of tested the waters, see if his music was still going to be popular or whatnot. So he issued a bunch of 45s. That went pretty well, and then he ended up issuing, I want to say, 3 or 4 LPs after that, and then afterwards he unfortunately passed away, kind of at his as he's starting to revive himself as a musician and gain some popularity. But this is kind of the later point of his career as he's starting to make that comeback. So yeah, really cool record here. Ike Quebec, the complete Blue Note 45 sessions. If you're not, you normally want to buy box sets or not sure about investing in them, I would say definitely check this one out. Listen to it first, stream it. But this is a great box set slash triple LP to have in your collection. So throughout 2025, I obviously got a lot more records that I did not discuss in today's video, but just wanted to kind of highlight my top 9 from the year and share some stories with y'all. I also want to give you all a heads up of what I'm going to be doing as we move into 2026. So after much consideration and thinking about my budget and the type of music I like and how I want to invest in my collection, I decided to sign up for the Tone Poet Society, which is, if you're unfamiliar, it's a reissue series that Blue Note is doing, premium audiophile reissues of some classic Blue Note records, some more popular, some more obscure. I actually have quite a few Tone Poets in my collection that I bought on sale or clearance over the past several years. And I've really enjoyed really anything they put out. And I think that, if you buy a year's worth, it's $30 a record. You get 2 each month. It is a huge investment, but I think it's one that I'm really going to enjoy. So for my channel here, I'm actually going to do a monthly video in which I review the Tone Poets that come out that month, kind of share my thoughts on the music, if I think that they're worth investing in or not, based on, of course, my personal taste in music and kind of just my thoughts in general about the music, the you know covers, everything that goes along with that. So hopefully that's something that y'all will enjoy and look forward to as we go into 2026. If so, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll continue to do other videos as well throughout the year about finds and other tips and tricks of being a budget record collector. If there's anything specific that y'all want to see, make sure to leave a comment below, and I can maybe try to work that into my video rotation as well. But thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and good luck out there finding records.